Life begins in fragility and ends in silence. Here, courage is not a choice. It is a necessity. Each passing day is a severe trial. Hunger, thirst, and fear are constant companions. The smallest mistake can be paid for with one's life. And nature never offers a second chance. On the African plains, the sun burns with a fierce intensity. The scorching wind whips up clouds of dust, shrouding the landscape. Every creature here exists in an exquisitely delicate balance. A single misstep can bring its existence to a close. Even the slightest decision can determine survival. On the vast grasslands, a buffalo bows its head to graze. Its massive frame and sharp horns are a formidable defense, yet its focus on feeding creates a vulnerability. Just a few yards away, the dry grass conceals a pair of motionless, golden eyes. A pride of lions has been watching the buffalo for hours. They await the precise moment to strike. On these plains, success depends not on sudden force, but on patience and precision. The confrontation allows for no error. Across the savannah, the lion reigns as an apex predator. Its muscular power is combined with sophisticated, coordinated group tactics. This combination provides a formidable advantage in the cycle of hunter and prey. The grasslands are not just a habitat but a battlefield, where every movement can be a matter of life and death. Every hunt begins in stillness. The pride moves slowly, observing the slightest movement of an antelope or a buffalo. Once a weak or isolated target is identified, the strategy commences. The lionesses lead the approach, fanning out to cut off escape routes. Every step must be precise, for the slightest mistake will allow the prey to flee. Once the trap is set, violence erupts. The prey fights with desperate strength. The male lions join the assault, using their power to bring down the large animal. But the male's role is more than just brute force. His part is not that of a swift blade, but of a terrifying spectacle. In another corner of the African savannah, a different story is unfolding. From the ashes of a fallen male lion empire, a new power is rising. Sola, a lioness who has raised the Matana pride from ruin and despair. Now, they are ready for any battle. Sola and her sisters stand on the threshold of a new dynasty. And in their hunts, there is no place for the males. The role of Robin, the former ruler, is now obsolete. At present, he and the other males merely enjoy the spoils of the pride's hunts. But that will be no more. Their time is over. The future of the pride now belongs to the females. On this arid, sun-scorched land, the lion is the central link in the chain of survival. The buffalo exist as a unified force. They move in herds, never alone. The young and weaker individuals always remain at the center. The strong males form the outer ring, ready to confront any predator. This coordination is guided by instinct and experience. The females often lead, relying on their memory of past grazing areas and water sources. The mature males protect the group. This structure is flexible yet stable, allowing the herd to survive in a harsh environment. Buffalo also connect with other species. Oxpeckers perch on their backs, feeding on parasites. These birds also cry out in alarm at the first sign of danger. When a predator attacks, the herd's response is immediate. The group forms a tight circle, with horns facing outward. This living wall is difficult to penetrate. Lions or hyenas succeed only if they can break the formation or isolate an individual. Buffalo shape the ecosystem in many ways. They keep the grasslands trimmed, provide food for large predators, and create habitats for symbiotic species. Their presence maintains a balance across the plains, where life and death are intimately connected. The African elephant is the largest land animal. They are natural engineers that shape the landscape. Every footstep leaves a mark. Trees are toppled. Paths are forged through the bush. Elephant herds are organized in a tight-knit family structure. The matriarchs lead the group, relying on knowledge of water sources and safe routes accumulated over many migrations. Another distinctive feature of elephants is their ability to communicate. They converse in a language deeper than sound, a dialogue not carried on the wind. But through the very bones of the continent. It is a rumble of secrets, of distant herds. Of the promise of rain carried in the vibrations of a faraway storm. They listen to the future, written in the pulse of the earth. At waterholes, elephants dominate through their size and strength. Their long tusks are both tools for digging and weapons for defense. However, this dominance is not absolute. Buffalo and hippos sometimes challenge elephants, forcing them to be cautious before entering contested areas. Elephants leave a powerful ecological impact. As they break branches to feed, they open up space for shrubs to grow. When they dig for water in the dry season, they create water sources for many other species. On the open savanna, the giraffe stands out due to its exceptional height. This height allows it to reach the tree canopy that most other herbivores cannot. This advantage helps them spot predators much earlier than other species. However, this benefit comes with a clear vulnerability. When drinking, a giraffe must spread its front legs wide and lower its body. In this unbalanced posture, it becomes an easy target for lions or crocodiles. To compensate, the giraffe relies on speed. Its long legs provide both a great stride and rapid acceleration. When forced into a close encounter, a kick from its hind legs can inflict serious injury on a predator. In the ecosystem, giraffes form symbiotic relationships. Oxpeckers perch on their bodies, feeding on parasites. These birds also sound an alarm when a threat approaches. Height gives the giraffe both advantages and risks. They shape the vegetation and play a crucial role in the food chain. This role makes the giraffe a key element in maintaining the balance of the savanna. On the African plains, zebras appear as moving black and white stripes. They travel in large herds, protected by their numbers. The most striking feature of the zebra is its striped coat. When standing alone, an individual is easily spotted. But in a moving herd, the stripes blend together, making it difficult for a predator to target a single animal. The zebra is also a resilient grazer. Its digestive system allows it to consume both dry, coarse grass and nutrient-rich new shoots. This reduces competition with antelope or buffalo. In the Great Migration, the zebra is the pioneer. They are the first to taste the hardships of the journey, consuming the tough, sun-scorched outer layers of grass on the plains. In their wake, they leave not destruction, but an invitation. A table set for the millions who follow, an ancient, unspoken pact between two species bound to the same journey. When danger appears, the herd's reaction is immediate. Loud calls carry a warning signal that spreads through the group. The entire herd gallops forward in a powerful wave of muscle. The zebra's role is not limited to that of a single herbivore. They convert grass into energy for the food chain. When they die, their bodies nourish vultures, hyenas, and other scavengers. In the skies above the savannah, vultures often appear as black dots circling in search of carrion. When food is found, the flock descends almost at once, turning an empty patch of ground into a feeding site governed by its own order. The vulture's physical traits are well suited to this role. Its long, nearly featherless neck allows it to reach deep inside a carcass without risk of infection. Its strong, hooked beak is sharp enough to tear flesh even from decaying remains. In this way, they consume food that most other animals leave behind and reduce the spread of disease. Vultures face many challenges. As herbivore populations decline, so does the availability of carcasses. They must fly farther to find food, which expends considerable energy. The African leopard is the only predator on the savannah that hunts entirely alone. It does not rely on a pack or sheer power. Instead, it uses speed, agility, and focus to catch its prey. The leopard can live in many environments, from humid forests to dry grasslands. Tall grass provides cover and allows it to approach a target undetected. During a hunt, the leopard spends most of its time observing. It measures the distance and chooses the precise moment to attack. A burst of acceleration combined with a precise leap closes the gap in seconds. After making a kill, the leopard may drag the carcass up a tree. This action protects the food from hyenas and lions. The leopard achieves a much higher success rate than many larger predators. It attacks or retreats based on the right opportunity. Living alone reduces competition within a group, but requires an individual to perform all tasks, from hunting to protecting food. The leopard plays a clear ecological role. It regulates the populations of small and medium-sized animals. Its leftovers provide food for vultures, hyenas, and other scavengers. On the vast plains of Africa, the wildebeest is a constant symbol of life on the move. Hundreds, even thousands, connect into a single herd. Their numbers form a natural shield. When danger appears, a warning signal spreads instantly, and the whole herd moves as one, making it difficult for a predator to isolate a single target. However, this advantage also comes with risks. On the wild savannah, to be alone is to be dead. For this one left behind, a minor injury has turned the Great Migration into a dead end. It knows it is being watched. From a distance, two young hunters are hidden in the tall grass. They do not need speed, only patience. The opportunity has arrived. A brutal takedown. There are no miracles for the weak. The weight of the two hunters locks down any hope of survival for this wildebeest. Life slowly fades. The fight has reached a stalemate. The death of one is the life of another. That is the unchanging law of this land. A scene beyond imagination unfolds as the vast savannah trembles under the hooves of millions of migrating creatures. Assassins hide in the shadows, where the cycle of the survival arena turns without end. The Serengeti is the starting point of the greatest journey on the wild fields of the Dark Continent. Countless prey face nature's most brutal tests. Though exhausted by hunger and thirst, they remain resilient, never surrendering to the fangs of the enemy. An eternal cycle of birth and death is the essence of the great journey in the Serengeti, where survival always goes hand in hand with mortality. Every creature, from the elite hunters to the resilient hunted, is a perfect piece of the pristine natural tapestry. The thunder of hooves echoes across the savannah like a prelude to an inevitable clash. In absolute silence, the leopard lies in wait, patiently awaiting the decisive moment. When the target is down, it drags the carcass high into the trees, protecting its prize from scavengers like lions or hyenas. In another corner, the cheetah explodes like an arrow in the battle that defines the line between life and death. However, despite winning the race of speed, this great cat rarely gets to keep its meal. At the same time, the king of the jungle takes advantage of the chaos to deploy sophisticated encirclement tactics, driving the prey into narrow kill zones. The hunt begins where the elite earn the right to continue and the weak must stop forever. In the wild, peace is sometimes just a perfect veneer for a deadly trap. And here, the smallest mistake offers no chance for correction. Beneath the murky waters of the Mara River, Nile crocodiles lie as still as logs, but their eyes follow every movement of their prey. Every leap across the current is a gamble with life, where death can strike at any moment. The Serengeti appears as a boundless kingdom, where the silence of the plains can explode in an instant. Zebras and Thompson's gazelles embark on a tempestuous journey, facing the rivers of death with primal instinct. Every step of the migration is a precious thread, weaving the fragile balance of the web of life in this extraordinary place. From the dense forests to the flooded swamps, every inch of the Serengeti is home to hundreds of species of birds and mammals. This is a tightly woven ecological network, where the role of even the smallest creatures is vital. More than just an Eden, the Serengeti is also a brutal arena for hunters like lions, hyenas, and cheetahs. After each great march, the battles for survival erupt with intensity, creating a mosaic that is both graceful and ferocious. Spanning the central and western regions, the woodland savanna ecosystem creates a characteristic landscape for the Serengeti. This vast territory is a stable habitat for non-migratory species such as giraffes and African elephants. The acacia canopies and dense thickets are not only a source of food, but also a core link in the nutritional supply chain. Annual rainfall reaches 30 to 40 inches, concentrated in the first half of the year, nourishing the lush green grasslands. However, the shifts in climate are gradually reshaping the face of this land. As the rains become more erratic, elephants and other animals must travel farther in search of life. The pressure to survive is mounting, especially during the dry season, when resources become extremely scarce. The pristine forests of the Serengeti are the kingdom of the African elephant, a symbol of intelligence and adaptive strength. With a colossal stature of up to 13 feet and a weight of 6 tons, these creatures hold the responsibility of orchestrating the biological balance. "5 million years of evolution have carved unique biological features onto their bodies. Their large ears, like giant fans, help the elephants dissipate body heat under the scorching sun. In harsh conditions, elephants often move in small family units, crossing the savannas to sustain their lives. When the drought peaks, they use their trunks to dig deep into the dry riverbeds to find water, creating a source of life for a host of other animals. Endemic vegetation, like the acacia tree, is the main food source that helps elephants maintain their energy. Each adult elephant can consume up to 300 pounds of vegetation per day to nourish its massive body. Their feeding habits inadvertently create natural pathways, expanding grasslands and helping plants to regenerate. The erratic weather is creating new barriers, forcing the elephant herds to constantly change their migration routes. Even so, their position in the ecological cycle is irreplaceable. Elephant dung acts as a natural fertilizer, promoting the vigorous growth of the plant system. It is the proud presence of the elephant that has helped the Serengeti maintain its title as the most prosperous kingdom of nature. But power in the Serengeti does not belong only to the calm giants. To survive in this wilderness, sometimes size is not enough. A will of steel is required. On this harsh savanna, the line between life and death is separated by a single misstep. When her little one stumbles, every mother's nightmare begins. But a mother's love is a force that can bend even fear. She turns back, charging straight into the pride of lions. One against a whole pack of assassins. Using her body as a shield, she desperately clings to the faintest glimmer of hope. But creation is too cruel. When the Lion King appears with his overwhelming power, all of the mother's efforts completely collapse. She stands there, helpless, watching the child she bore slowly fade under the enemy's fangs. To let go is the most brutal decision. A life is lost, leaving a wound that will bleed forever in the heart of the one who remains. In another area on the dense savanna, the African buffaloes stand proudly like monuments in the heart of the wild Serengeti. Their sturdy horns, like a protective armor, display an iron will in the most brutal of confrontations. These powerful creatures are the protective legion of the plains, ready to face the most notorious of assassins. In their herd formation, the most elite warriors will stand at the forefront to counter any attack. When the harsh sun reaches its peak, the buffalo herds often hide under the wide acacia canopies to conserve energy. To find food, they gather in large groups and begin their march across the grasslands. Besides satisfying their hunger, their grazing activity is a natural way to manage the density of the vegetation. The buffalo plays a dual role, as the sentinels of the plains and as the keepers of the ecosystem's stability. They hold an undeniably crucial position in the complex food chain of this land. If an adult buffalo is a difficult fortress to breach, the young often fall into the predator's sights. When the drought takes hold, the buffalo herds are forced to seek the last remaining wetlands hidden deep in the forest. These small pools of water now become a bloody battleground for dramatic chases. In the tall grass, lions lie in patient ambush, waiting for the moment to launch their attack. Amidst the dusty and arid space, the panting of the hunter makes the air thick. However, that suffocating silence is suddenly broken by wild laughter. A sound that signals the presence of those who challenge all order. The spotted hyena emerges as a master of survival amidst the Serengeti's woodlands, asserting its position in the ecosystem. Through over 22 million years of geological change, this species is a heroic testament to enduring life. Thanks to the power of their jaws and a tight-knit social structure, they are the most flexible warriors on the golden savanna. During the dry season, the concentration of animals around the waterholes creates a golden opportunity for the hyena clans. Every step of the spotted hyena exudes an absolute confidence in the strength of the collective. They operate a strict matriarchal society with a membership that can reach up to 80 individuals. When hunting, the rhythmic coordination of the group helps the hyenas create suffocating pressure on their prey in the darkness. At a speed of 35 miles per hour, they are persistent hunters, ready to pursue their target over long distances. Possessing a terrifying bite force of 1,100 psi, no part of the prey is left behind by them. Not only do they hunt, but they are also famous for their ability to steal prey from lions, ensuring a maximum food supply. Every feast of the hyena not only helps them survive, but also helps to purify and balance the Serengeti's environment. However, the hyena's wild laughter is not the only sound that signals an end. A huge dark shadow is descending from the sky, carrying the message of death. Not only large animals, but the Serengeti sky is also bustling with the presence of over 500 species of birds. Each bird species holds a distinct responsibility in this delicate and diverse ecosystem. The marabou stork, with its 10-foot wingspan, creates an authoritative image in the sky. Nicknamed the Undertaker bird, this bird has an appearance as if cloaked in a dark robe. This name is not just a description, but also reflects its role as nature's professional cleanup crew. They frequently appear in the swamps, where lions or hyenas have just finished their bloody hunts. Their sturdy beaks help them clean up carcasses, preventing the spread of pathogens across the savannah. However, the Serengeti is just one piece of the puzzle, while the Miombo woodlands in Zambia are the most extensive savanna system. Stretching across many countries, this land is the domain of great trees like the Brachystegia. The towering tree trunks are like pillars holding up the sky, sheltering thousands of creatures below. They are giant green lungs, absorbing carbon and playing a role in regulating the climate for the entire region. Evolution has helped the animals here to harmonize perfectly with the harsh environment of the Miombo woodlands. With a population of approximately 3,000 individuals, the Serengeti proudly asserts its position as the place with the highest density of lions on the planet. The vast grasslands are a stage for the superior hunting skills of the East African lion. Over 2 million years, the king of the jungle has perfected its body to become a flawless killing machine. The lion prides here are truly terrifying in their size and unparalleled power. A male lion can weigh up to 500 pounds, far exceeding the size of the females in the pride. The thick, dark mane is not only a symbol of power, but also a protective armor in battles. Behind the brutal facade of the killer are warm and close family ties. The pride for a lion is a united home, where trust is built through the smallest of activities. The females coordinate to raise the young, willing to nurse cubs that are not their own. Affectionate gestures or grooming each other are a testament to the deep trust among the members. Even the dominant kings reveal a rare gentleness when playing with their small cubs. To maintain their strength, each individual consumes a large amount of meat daily through sophisticated ambush tactics. In explosive sprints of 50 miles per hour, lions quickly subdue large targets like zebras. They deploy an encirclement formation, using their muscular strength and sharp jaws to finish off their victims. However, the king's journey is never without obstacles from rival species. The clashes with hyenas are an essential part of maintaining the ecological order. Currently, the East African lion is on the vulnerable list due to the pressure of human expansion. The decline of this species will have serious consequences for the global biological cycle. In the endless bush, the East African cheetah glides like a lightning bolt, exploding and then vanishing into thin air. The open space of the savannah is the ideal arena for this cat to display its speed. The cheetah's slender body is the result of 3 million years of optimization for absolute agility. Unlike lions, cheetahs choose a solitary lifestyle or small coalitions instead of large prides. The males often team up to hold territory, while the females quietly raise the next generation. Soft communication sounds are their way of maintaining contact in a discreet society. As dawn breaks, the cheetah begins its hunt by taking advantage of the tall grass for camouflage. It can reach a speed of 60 miles per hour in just 3 short seconds. The rhythmic pounding of its paws on the dry ground is like nature's war drums. Although it can reach 70 miles per hour, the cheetah can only maintain this state for a short distance. Its long tail acts as a rudder, helping it to change direction flexibly with every move of its prey. If it cannot finish the hunt quickly, the cheetah will have to stop to recover its energy under the scorching sun. Under the bright sun, the white-headed vulture circles gracefully, keeping an eye on every carcass on the ground. As the pioneering cleaners, they quickly approach the food source before it is stolen by others. At the same time, Ripple's griffon vultures, the sentinels of the sky, are silently observing from an incredible height. Thanks to a special respiratory mechanism, this creature is capable of conquering a record altitude of 36,000 feet. Ripple's griffon vultures maintain a communal lifestyle, sharing precious food sources together. This social interaction helps them optimize their search for resources in this scarce land. Despite their important role, this vulture species is facing the threat of extinction due to illegal activities. Amidst the lush green sea of the savannah, giant granite formations rise like islands of time. These ancient entities have stood for millions of years, witnessing the changes of the Serengeti Here, the Maasai giraffe chooses the high acacia canopies as its primary food source. Its superior height gives it the ability to survey its surroundings and provide an early warning of any danger. Its powerful hind legs help it to easily cross the most difficult marshy terrains. A giraffe's kick is a deadly defensive weapon, powerful enough to make a lion hesitate. The rainy season is also the time when the swamps become a safe nursery for giraffe calves. The dense vegetation clusters provide shelter for the new lives from the prying eyes of enemies. As soon as they are born, the calves can stand firm, an important step for survival. The wetlands in the Serengeti are in fact priceless treasures of biodiversity. The density of the thickets provides a safe shield for the large animals from assassins. The abundant water source in the swamps helps the giraffes maintain their health without having to travel far. Perhaps the true masters of the Serengeti swamps are the hippo families. In the still waters, these giants relax, enjoying the bounty of nature. With a weight of up to 2 tons, the hippo is one of the most powerful entities in the water. They spend most of their time submerged to cool down, with only their eyes visible to survey their surroundings. The swamp water not only cools, but is also a shield, protecting the elephant's skin from the harsh sun. The elephant's body secretes a special red compound that functions as a natural antibacterial layer. As darkness falls, the hippos leave the river to begin their foraging journey on land. Each night, they can consume up to 80 pounds of vegetation when other species are resting. The hippo's 1,800 psi bite force is a stark warning to any intruder. The 16-inch long canine teeth are an extremely effective tool for defending their territory. They maintain a tight-knit herd structure to ensure the safety of the group's members. The Giraffe River acts as a living artery for the western corridor of the Serengeti. This is a convergence of forests and swamps, providing an ideal refuge during the dry season. However, beneath its calm surface is the domain of the fearsome Nile crocodile. Weighing 1,500 pounds, this ancient creature is one of the largest reptiles on Earth. It is the embodiment of patience, waiting for the moment the Great Migration erupts to strike. When millions of creatures cross the river, the crocodile uses its 5,000 psi bite force to finish off its prey in an instant. This great march is not just a journey, but a symphony of wild life. Each large herd moves forward, seeking a brighter future on new grasslands. The Western Corridor offers a lavish feast of vegetation for the pilgrims. This place becomes a life-saving stopover for thousands of migrating animals. May brings the end of the rainy season and the beginning of the advance towards the Giraffe River. In June, the herds gather on the riverbanks, where the humidity keeps the grass always green. However, crossing the current becomes a brutal weeding out process by nature. The depletion of water sources and fatigue have pushed many creatures to their limits. This migration is a dance of survival, where all individuals share a collective pulse. The herd formation creates a strong shield against the fangs of the enemy. This unity helps them optimize their ability to find and use the resources of the Western Corridor. The departure of the weak inadvertently sustains the life of aquatic species like the crocodile. From the humid tropical forests to the sun-drenched golden savannas, the natural world appears as a vibrant masterpiece under the shaping hands of creation. The sudden downpours quench the land, washing away the aridity of the dust. The African savanna is where the earth and sky merge at the distant horizon. Every day is a race where the silent hunter and the highly vigilant prey must be. This battle for survival is an inseparable part of the predetermined laws of the universe. When the early morning sun paints the savanna orange, a new chapter of life begins. The vortex of life and death continues to turn, where light and darkness intertwine in an endless battle. The wildebeest herds begin their journey like pilgrims in search of water. Following them closely are the eyes of the night hunters, ready to act when the opportunity arises. In the temperate regions, cheetahs and wild dogs are the biggest obstacles for the migrating herds. Meanwhile, The crocodiles under the flooded rivers are awaiting their annual feast. Only a fortunate portion of the zebras survive this stormy journey to continue their lives. The savannah covers 1/5 of the land area, like a golden silk ribbon spread under the sun. This is a unique ecosystem, with open grasslands interspersed with sparse tree canopies. The African savanna is one of the oldest ecosystems known to mankind. Eight million years ago, the aridity of the climate gave birth to these great grass plains. It was a fateful moment when all creatures had to choose between changing or being wiped out. From those transformations, a new world, harsh but full of life, was formed. The savannah casts its shadow over 65% of the dark continent, like a giant natural carpet. The brilliant golden fields stretching to the horizon create a wild and majestic beauty. This place nurtures over 8,000 plant species, playing a foundational role for the life of all creatures. These green entities not only provide food but also regulate the planet's breath. The animals on the savannah are incredibly abundant, with over 160 mammal species coexisting and competing. In the sky, 2,000 bird species undertake journeys of thousands of miles like pilgrimages. Wetlands like the Sud are home to hundreds of aquatic species and various reptiles and amphibians. The tropical savanna is the vibrant heart, nourishing the lifeblood of the entire African continent. This ecoregion spreads across East and Southern Africa, covering many developing countries. At the center of this region, the Serengeti emerges as a symbol of biodiversity. It is considered one of the richest lands in terms of the number of animal and bird species. The soul of the Serengeti lies in the annual Great Migration between the major national parks. The rainy season brings new life, helping the savanna to turn a lush green. However, when the drought returns, a new test of survival begins. Millions of wildebeest and zebras begin the longest and largest journey on the planet. The 1,000-mile journey is not just a distance, but a test of courage. This march is like a journey to a promised land, where food is more abundant. During their movement, the herbivores inadvertently promote the strong regeneration of the savanna. This entire migration is a crucial source of nourishment for the more than 3,000 kings of the Serengeti. In the Miombo woodlands, A mischievous phantom glides silently. It is the black-backed jackal. With its characteristic silver-striped saddle, they are the most excellent opportunists in the central Zambezi region. The strength of this species lies in the loyalty of pairs who protect their family territory together. Do not mistake them for mere scavengers, because jackals are extremely sharp, coordinated hunters. They do not use muscular strength, but intelligence to subdue mother antelopes. The jackal acts as a sanitation worker, keeping the ecosystem in its healthiest state. Despite their intelligence, they still face pressure from human expansion and disease. In the dense Guinean forests, the leopard, Panthera pardus, is present as an all-powerful assassin. It moves flexibly from the thick canopies to the open savannas in search of opportunities. As a versatile hunter, the leopard's menu is incredibly rich, from monkeys to various birds. When darkness falls, its excellent vision turns it into an unrivaled ruler of the night. Patience and skillful camouflage help the leopard to become one with its surroundings. Taking advantage of the moment when the distance has narrowed, it explodes with a speed of 35 miles per hour to take down its target. After a victory, the leopard often drags its prey up high to protect its prize from lions and hyenas. The journey continues to the Somalia acacia region, the harshest part of the ecosystem. Here, low rainfall and intense heat create a harsh test for all life. The low, thorny bushes are not just a barrier, but a unique rhythm of this arid land. Acacia and combretum trees stand firm as sentinels, sheltering all creatures under the harsh sun. Every creature here possesses its own survival secrets to turn adversity into opportunity. In that space, the Grevy zebra appears as a symbol of fierce survival will. With only a few thousand individuals left, it is the rarest zebra species on Earth. As the largest of its family, the Grevy zebra has a majestic appearance with a weight of up to 1,000 pounds. The thin striped coat and large ears help them both to camouflage and regulate body temperature effectively. They can go for days without drinking, traveling through the deserts to find food. Their cautious steps play an important part in controlling the density of weeds. The bat-eared fox has developed miraculous biological features to adapt to the Somali environment. Their large ears act as sensitive radars, catching every small vibration under the ground. When night falls, this fox begins its silent patrol in search of life. Termites are a precious source of protein and water that helps them survive the long dry periods. Science has recorded the increase in the size of their ears as an evolution for survival. On the South African savannah, the white rhino stands out as a powerful and steadfast entity. Weighing 2.5 tons, it is the largest and most powerful rhino species on the planet. It holds the position of the second largest land mammal, second only to the elephant species. The characteristic square mouth structure makes the white rhino a specialist in grazing on short grasses. The two keratin horns are a symbol of strength and also an ultimate defensive weapon. The history of this species once reached the brink of extinction at the end of the 19th century, with only 20 individuals. However, a conservation miracle brought the white rhino back from the dead in a spectacular way. To date, their population has reached a stable number of over 18,000 individuals. With a daily grass consumption of 265 pounds, they act as landscape architects of the savannah. Kruger National Park is the most important stronghold that helps this species to develop sustainably. Even so, the fight against poaching is still a difficult problem with no final solution. The story on the savannah is not just about death, but about the eternal harmony of creation. In every step of the animals, we can feel the powerful pulse of the wild heart of Africa. Unhurried, unconcealed. It is a movement of confidence, calculation, and majesty. A male lion walks through the morning shadows, as if unafraid of being seen. On the African savannah, he has no need to hide. Over 6.5 feet long and weighing up to 485 pounds, his body is not built for long-distance running. It is built for head-on confrontations. But to think that raw power is his only weapon would be a mistake. The lion's true authority lies in his ability to control his territory and the creatures within it. However, the true hunting strategists are the females. Smaller, more agile, and just as deadly. They move in silence, positioning themselves with an almost choreographed synchronicity. There is no improvisation, only patience and precision. Communication is minimal, conveyed through glances and small gestures. One wrong move could cost them their daily meal. The prey, usually an antelope or a young wildebeest, does not sense the danger until it is too late. By the time the prey sees the hunter's eyes, it is already in the middle of a trap. One lunges from the front, another blocks the escape. Although they are the primary hunters, the lionesses have another mission: to raise and protect the pride. But what sustains that structure is the presence of the males. They are the guardians. When a rival approaches the territorial boundary, there is no negotiation. Two males may fight to the point of exhaustion. The prize is the right to stay with the pride, the right to mate, and the right to control the space. The lion's roar is one of its most effective tools. It can be heard for several miles. It is a clear warning to any other predator. When they hear that sound, antelopes stop grazing, hyenas hesitate. For a king, legacy is not just territory, it is bloodline. By eliminating a rival's offspring, he ensures that only his own genes are passed on. This brutality is the price of maintaining a dynasty. The lion hunts as a pride, but rules alone. He is the ultimate symbol of control in the chaos of the savannah. The savannah seems to rest under the midday sun, but not everything that rests is off its guard. Among the gnarled branches, there are eyes watching in absolute silence. The leopard does not announce its presence. Its power lies in its anonymity. Weighing around 130 pounds, and with a muscular build, it is compact, agile, and lethal. Unlike the lion who rules by presence, the leopard rules by absence. It hunts alone, eats alone, and disappears alone. It can spend hours observing a single spot, waiting for the ideal moment. It moves as lightly as a phantom, avoiding all sound. When it chooses a prey, the outcome is almost always the same: swift, clean, and silent. A precise bite to the neck ends the fight before it begins. No second chances. But the true masterpiece comes after. It lifts the carcass, often heavier than itself, and drags it high into the trees. There, beyond the reach of hyenas and lions, it turns the treetop into its private larder. This behavior is not just instinct, it is method. The leopard avoids disputes and secures its meal with discretion. At night, it becomes a true ghost of the savannah. Its night vision is sharp, its sense of smell precise. It is one of the few predators not bound by a pattern. It hunts birds, rodents, reptiles, anything that offers life. While other predators dominate by force, the leopard dominates by precision, cunning, and the ability to vanish before being seen. As night falls on the savannah, the sounds change. Strange howls, piercing laughs. It is the sign that one of Africa's most feared groups is on the move. The hyenas have arrived. For a long time, they were considered mere opportunists, scavengers, but that image could not be more wrong. The hyena is in fact one of the most effective predators, and its strength lies in its strategy. Weighing up to 176 pounds, the spotted hyena is a specialist in adaptation. Its jaw is one of the most powerful in the animal kingdom, capable of crushing long bones with ease. But it is not just the power of the bite that impresses, but the intelligence behind it. Hyenas live in highly organized clans, led by a dominant female. In that matriarchal structure, communication is key. They emit a variety of sounds, howls, giggles, hisses that act as a code to coordinate attacks. They do not hunt with a fixed plan. They improvise and exploit every mistake of their enemy. If an antelope shows signs of fatigue, it will be pursued until it collapses. Their attack is very different. While other predators bring down and suffocate their prey, hyenas often begin to devour their victim while it is still on the move. Brutal in human eyes, but effective. In addition, hyenas are very combative. They confront lions, steal prey from leopards, and often win because they know how to use their numbers to their advantage. At night, the hyena shows its true face. Persistent, enduring, they are capable of traveling long distances to hunt down their prey. Time is their ally. On the vast stage of the savannah, there is a group that stands out not for its individual strength, but for the perfection of its collaboration. They are the African wild dogs. And when they appear, chaos takes an organized form. Their appearance is not as impressive as a lion's, but behind it lies one of Africa's most effective predators. And their secret weapon is absolute coordination. A pack of wild dogs is not just a group, it is a living machine. Every member knows its role. Before the attack, there is a silent gathering. They come together, touching muzzles, emitting low sounds. They are synchronizing, planning. When the chase begins, it is like a mathematical game. One group pursues, another encircles, and a third isolates the prey. They do not win by strength, they win by endurance. Wild dogs can run long distances without losing their rhythm, patiently closing the distance and accelerating at the right moment. What is most impressive lies in the numbers. Wild dogs have the highest hunting success rate of all predators, over 80%. That is not luck, it is collective competence. That organization is not limited to the hunt. All members contribute to raising the young and caring for the injured. On the African savannah, the wild dog is living proof that true terror may not come from a roar, but from the efficiency of the collective. Amidst